Yesterday a child came out to wander, caught a dragonfly inside a jar. Fearful when the sky was full of thunder, and tearful at the falling of a star. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in a circle.
Hello and welcome to the Taking Charge video. We're going to attempt to show you how to run a family meeting and a classroom meeting. The classroom meeting and the family meeting have the same common elements in them. The only difference is, for you teachers watching, is that the classroom meeting, when you design the agenda for what kind of topics you're going to talk about, you have to remember to do it in a private place, because there are a lot of different children in a classroom. They don't know each other very well, and it's possible to humiliate a child or embarrass them if the agenda is too public. But in a home, you can hang it up on the refrigerator, and people can come and during the week write down what they want to talk about for that week. So we're going to attempt to show you two examples of family meetings. The first example is going to be a role play by a family who have, this is an actual family, mom and dad and the children. They have agreed to come and role play a family. They've chosen a common family problem, not only in their family, but we figure in other families. I'm going to be the grandmother in this family, and I will go over and introduce you to the family. So this is our family during the family meeting, and I'd like to introduce, this is the father, Stuart, and this is Thorin, and this is the mom, Vicki, and this is Eric, and this is Margot, and I'm Joanne, Grandma Joanne, and we've decided our last name is Smith. And so we're going to, we've lit our candle, we've had a little ritual here beforehand, we've talked, and we're feeling pretty well at ease now, I guess. And so we're going to discuss the problem. We chose one only tonight to talk about. So we're going to talk about a problem. Let's go around and have everybody kind of state the problem as you think it is. Would you like to start, Thorin? Go ahead and tell us. What's the problem that you'd like to talk about tonight? It was something about bugging and teasing, wasn't it?
Teasing.
Teasing, yeah. Something
So
about teasing.
The problem is with teasing.
Problem is we do it a lot.
So the problem is we do it a lot. Yeah, I've noticed we do, you know, some days it's not so bad and some days it's not so good. So it does happen a lot. How about you, Vicki? Why don't you state the problem? What do you see the biggest problem is?
Well, I think there's teasing, and also sometimes just getting into each other's personal space. And I guess the other thing is, I think it happens, it's not uncommon for that to happen, and I'd like to talk some about what's our response to it when it happens, because sometimes I feel like that it's sort of inevitable. We'll have a little teasing, but or fighting, but that it would be nice to have people have a better way to respond to it other than getting mad and fighting.
So you'd like to have us think about some other things to do than fighting if people tease us.
Right.
Yeah. How about you, Eric? What do you see as the main problem about teasing?
I think it's sort of a problem. One of the main things is going into each other's rooms, like my mom said, invading personal space, because I'm sure the little kids don't like it when I go in their room, and I like keeping us when they come in my room.
Okay. So that's for you, that going into the room. I've seen that happen sometimes in the family. Yeah, so I know that's a tough one. Like, it's my personal thing, and I wish I could put a fence around it, kind of a thing. Yeah. Okay. What about you? How would you explain it? What bothers you about it?
Well, it bothers me that people are always harassing me and coming up when I'm reading and saying, "Oh, can you read to me? Oh, do you want to play with me?"
Like, you just like to be left alone
Yes, I like
sometimes?
to be left alone for a little while.
Just have your own, like you could sort of, well, kind of like Eric said, have your own little fence you could put around you sometimes.
Yes.
Okay.
So that people can't bug you.
Yeah. Well, nobody much bugs me in this family, but I do notice it happening sometimes, but I don't feel bugged, so, but I'll help talk about it, but you guys probably know more about it than I do. How about you? How would you describe it, what you see happening?
Well, I guess I see, yes, I see a fair amount of teasing, and that I think sometimes that after there's teasing, that then the other child gets angry, and then the person doing the teasing doesn't want to take responsibility for it. That it's but that I think a lot of the teasing is kind of aggressive, you know, and that it gets an angry response.
So you think it's more than just teasing, it's kind of getting back at somebody, or?
Well, it's aggressive. It can be aggressive teasing, and it gets an angry response, and then there's fighting that follows.
Well, and my feeling too is that nobody really likes it. It's sort of, everybody wants to do something about it. Sounds like that, although we all seem to see it a little different. So is everybody, do you think that's pretty much how this problem is? Could we go on to the second part? Did you want to say something else?
Well, I think
Vicki?
that Stuart brings up an important point, which I think that there's the element of sometimes when I watch what's happening, it looks like somebody's having fun and teasing the other person, that they're actually doing it for fun.
Oh,
And so sometimes it's when somebody's bored that can happen.
and then the other
So
person gets angry.
The other person gets angry, right?
Sure.
And so it may not be that there's just one solution to it, because sometimes it is a matter of people going into your space, and other times it's a matter of somebody kind of
Yeah.
coming out and just for fun, seeing if they can get a response. They're bored.
So, okay, well, it seems like the problem, okay, that's the first part. We said what the problem was. Everybody pretty comfortable with that? I mean, that's pretty much what's going on, huh? Okay, so let's do the second part. This part's kind of fun, I think. Let's brainstorm, and somebody can write down. Do you have a tablet? Here it is. I see a tablet. Would somebody like to volunteer to write down the ideas? Let's just brainstorm, and we're going to,
Write them down?
everybody, here, let's let, you want to write? Okay. Margot will do it. Let's let, Margot, you write down every idea we come up with. Even if the ideas seem kind of dumb to you, you got to write them all down, okay? And then, it doesn't matter if you can spell, because you're the ones going to read them back to us. Spelling doesn't count. Okay, so what could we do? And Marga's going to make the list. What could we do?
If we ask them to do something once and they say no, we stop bothering them. Don't bother them again.
Let them wait.
Like if someone starts to come in your room and you ask them once not to do it.
Well, more like if, for instance, Margot's reading and I come up to her and I say, "Hey, Margot, would you like to play Monopoly?" And she goes, "Not right now, I'm reading." I'll say, "Okay," and I won't keep on bothering her about it.
Oh, okay. So take no for an answer. Would that be something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, that would be one idea. Any other ideas?
You need to write it all down, Mark. You just say take no for an answer.
Just right.
But it's okay. You can, your dad's saying that you don't have to make it a real long sentence, but you can shorten it up. It's okay. We won't feel bad if you don't write
Take
everything.
no for an answer. That's okay.
Okay, Thorin, what idea did you have?
Well, I have an idea. Let's say that somebody asks you, and you're reading a book, and you say, when you finish, you don't say, oh, I'm just going to finish this book. You do it.
Oh, so if you come up to somebody and say, would you play with me? And they say, well, when I finish with the book, that they really would keep their word.
They would finish with the book, then play with you.
Okay, so put that down. How would
If
we
they
say that?
ask
That they
you
would
to
really do what they
keep your
say.
word.
Keep your word. Okay. Is that right, Thorin? Keep your word.
Well, I have an idea.
What's your idea, Vicki?
How about if somebody wants some attention and you're doing something, if you say, how about in 5 minutes, and then set the timer? And then during that 5 minutes, the person wouldn't bug you anymore?
One thing.
Well, we get to
We-
write down anything
Oh,
we want, right?
Okay.
But we need to get a timer then.
Besides the microwave.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay, and we'll come to that next. That's a good idea. We'll remember that for when we go back over.
How about set timer?
Yeah, set timer. And then the person would know when it was going to happen. What else? You're so busy writing, Margaret. Do you have an idea? You have another one for me.
For teasing.
Yeah. Well, if somebody starts teasing you, instead of just hitting them, ask please stop. If they keep on doing it after asking 3 times, go and tell a parent.
So you would rather, if you went up and teased somebody, you would rather have them go tell mom and dad than to hit you. You don't like to be hit. Is that right? So could you write that down? Say, tell mom and dad, not hit. Okay. What else? Any more ideas? Another idea.
If somebody's teasing you, say, I don't like to be teased.
Oh, okay.
And don't get really mad because if you get really mad, we'll just keep on teasing you because I think it's fun.
Okay.
Just act calm and walk away.
So there's a couple of ideas Thorn gave. One was use words instead of hitting, right? One is walk away from the person who's teasing. That's kind of like two different things, two different ideas Thorn had.
You want me to do some writing?
Walk away
So you could do something.
and use words.
I think that you should, the teaser should think better of it and not do it. Instead of just making suggestions for if you're teased, about not teasing at all.
Oh, so you think the teaser
They
just,
shouldn't-
maybe there's a way to remind the teaser, some kind of a sign you could give the teaser, or what kind of a code? Maybe there's some kind of a little code you could remind the teaser. Maybe the teaser doesn't know he's teasing. Maybe he doesn't even think about it. He's just having fun. What could you do? What kind of could you give him a hand signal to remind him he's teasing? If someone went like this and didn't say anything, just went and looked away, that would remind the teaser he was teasing.
It just means stop.
It means stop the teasing. Okay, make a hand signal. Hand signal.
Well,
These are lots of ideas.
just since we're brainstorming, you could.
Yeah, we're just brainstorming.
You could fight with them.
You could fight with him. You could hit him really
That's not a
hard.
good solution here. You're just gonna get into
Go
a
ahead-
big
go ahead and
fight
write that down.
Each other up.
Sometimes that does
And I think
happen.
somebody will end up crying.
Maybe
go tell
someone
mom and
would.
dad, And then you get really bad. Kind of.
Well,
That's what happens a lot
we'll,
of the
we'll
time.
we'll go ahead and write it down because that's an idea. And sometimes that happens, right? When people tease, they get hit. So, but now go ahead and tell me, Thorin, what else did you want to say?
Another thing that you could do
So you hear
is if somebody's teasing you, you could just sit there and ignore them and just keep on what you're doing, and eventually they'll go away because they think you're no fun.
You could just sort of like pretend to be invisible, like you weren't there.
Yeah. Act
Just-
like you're not there.
Act like you're not there.
Or
But they
you're
are
not there.
But go ahead and write it down, though. Oh, you did? Oh, you're way ahead of me, Margot. You're such a good secretary.
So, does 8 things seem like enough, or?
Well, it's a lot. I mean, it maybe is, but we don't want to quit if somebody's got a good idea.
I don't know if I have a good idea. I mean, it worries me a little that all the responses are about the person being teased, but
Yeah.
a lot of
What
the
about
problem lies with the
stopping?
person who's doing the teasing.
So we need some more ideas, Dad's saying.
Well, we might. I'm not
I mean,
quite
all
sure
of
what to
it's
do
about
about it.
what you should do if you get teased.
Okay.
Well,
I
you-
mean,
Which is, it doesn't
there's
quite see
nothing
how
for
that
the teaser.
stops
No
the
rules
teaser.
for the
Yeah.
teaser.
Okay, so we've come up with lots of ideas for the person getting teased, but no ideas yet for the person teasing.
Well, the parents could,
What could we do? Thorin has his hand up again. Do you have an idea for the person who's doing the
The
teasing?
person who's being teased should think first.
Who's teasing, you mean?
Yeah, think before you do.
Okay, so the teaser
That's why I
should
think
think
that's
before
word.
he does it
And then not do it at all.
and not do it at all.
perhaps the parents could exact some kind of penalty that's agreed on beforehand to the teaser.
Okay, that would be number 11.
What if they're lying
Or 10,
near it?
okay. Penalty to the teaser that everybody here at the family meeting might agree on. What kind of a penalty could you suggest? Would you have a penalty for the teaser?
10-minute timeout
A 10-minute timeout, write that
or
down.
a spanking.
Or a spanking, you can write that down. Those are pretty tough penalties. There might be penalties that aren't that hard, that might work just as good. No dessert. Did you have another penalty you thought of that maybe wasn't quite so tough?
They could lose dessert.
Could lose dessert. I think we've got that one.
Have if it on the family date night not get to watch the movie.
It's the kind of thing your mom likes is they could have to do something nice for the
Yeah,
person
they could
being
have to do
teased.
some kind of job.
So,
They could have to do a nice thing for the person they were teasing.
My favorite, yeah, that's my favorite thing is
Like
that
read them a
you
story.
then have to do what the person you're teasing, you have to do what the person who got teased wants to do for the next 20 minutes.
so
Hour.
write that down. The
For the
person,
next
this is a
hour.
lot. This, Margot, you are doing a big
She's doing very
secretarial
well,
job.
too.
Right, the
Sort of like
person,
being servant to them
That's
for a little
right,
while.
you get to be there.
this is
You're
her turn to be
entertaining.
secretary. Okay, so they would do something nice for that person.
That person would get to choose.
For a certain number of
choose that
minutes.
activity.
So they could choose to have a story read to them, or they could choose to play a particular game
A game.
Like Monopoly.
for dinosaurs.
Yeah, I'd love to play dinosaurs.
Well, we've come up with lots of things. Are you feeling good about this list that we can start going down it?
I
Yeah.
think we can just
Let's go back, okay. Go ahead and read us, Margot, start with the top one, and let's be really, now, we listened to everything before, right? We didn't disagree with anything. But this time, we get to speak up and say if we like it or don't, and tell why we don't like it, or why we do, okay?
All right.
Read the first one.
Take no for an answer.
Take no for an answer. Eric?
I think that's a good one because it doesn't hurt the teasing or the teaser. So, and it's no kind of penalty, so it would be fine with everybody.
Okay, so we like that one. Circle that number. Circle
just
that
put a
one.
star.
Or star. Okay, Margaret's got a star. Star's good. However you want to do it. Okay, 2. What about 2?
Keep your word. Say it.
Keep
All
your
right,
word.
I'll play with you 5 minutes later.
And really do
Do
it.
keep it.
Did you want to say
like
something?
that idea because
You like that
if
idea?
they keep their word, then it's kind of like promising something that you'll do, and you won't say, "Oh, but I'm reading a good book."
Yes, I hear that.
When you
Yes.
finish something that you said you would, or let's say you're not even finished with a chapter, let's say you're in the middle of a sentence.
So
still
you think
stop.
the teaser is more likely not to tease if people really would keep their word and play with him sometimes? Okay, put it. How do other people feel about that one? Is that worth, what do you think? Is that doable?
I think that'd work.
I think that
Seems
goes well
good
with
to
the
me.
next one, which is you set the timer
Set the
so
timer.
that you don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to
So
do
you
it
set
on
the timer
demand.
and then you keep your word.
They would work really well together, wouldn't they, the two of them? And that way the teaser would know exactly when that bell rings, and the person that almost got teased but didn't would know now it was time. And the person being teased could set his own time limit. The person maybe being teased could say, I need 10 minutes, or however it was he needed. Okay, so we like that one? I think that one might work. too.
Those are exactly the opposite. The first one and then the second two together are exactly the opposite. Right? Because the first one says, if the person says no,
Take no for an
then you
answer.
just take no for an
Mhm,
answer. The
That's
second
right.
one says,
Well, no. The first one is if they just say no. The second one is give me 10 minutes and then I'll play for you.
Yeah, the second one is when one child is reading and says, I'll play with you, and when I get to the end of the chapter, and then they don't.
right, I understand that, but, so the answer can become instead, no.
So Vicki,
That's what I'm
so-
envisioning, is it's
so-
gonna go
You don't
from
like
8
that
to 10
answer.
minutes.
So-
No, it's just, it could be still that the answer will just be no.
Yeah, and Vicky's kind of jumping ahead when we, after we choose these, because remember what we do at the very end is we say, what could go wrong with this one? And Vicky's kind of jumping ahead and saying, I think that could go wrong, the no one. But let's leave it for now, and we'll come back and when we ask what can
I
go
like
wrong.
it.
You like it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I can just say no.
No, and hope it works, okay? And we'll see. Okay, next one.
Tell parents no hitting.
I like the no hitting, but the telling parents is sort of like tattling because they're not hurting you.
True.
Yeah, I tell you, this is where, as a grandma, I probably would get into this, and I don't want you guys coming to me and saying, tell him to quit hitting me, because then I have to be the judge and the jury, and I just don't like it, because I don't know who started it, and so I don't like that one.
Okay, so why don't you strike that one out?
But I like that idea more than
Look down for
actually.
stars.
I think it's
But remember, we all have, everybody has to agree on these. We won't choose any that everybody doesn't agree on. So if anybody
Tell
doesn't
parents
like them, we'll
no
cross it
hitting.
out.
So I think we can cross that, tell parents, how about the no hitting? Do we want to cross that out?
Well, that's sort of like another basic policy. We're not allowed to hit people anyway. So I suppose this could be to emphasize it, but really,
It puts a lot of burden on the parent.
Right, we're crossing out the
We're
tell the parents,
crossing
but
it
the
out.
no, but the no hitting part. So you want to just cross the whole thing out?
Might as well cross the whole thing out. Okay, 5.
Don't get mad. Just walk away.
I don't know about that one because sometimes it'll seem like you're ignoring them more, and that'll just make them more angry, so they'll just want to tease you more and more. So,
I was thinking that too, especially since I think I hear a lot that the person who teases really wants to spend time with people he really likes. Don't you think sometimes the person teasing wants to be with somebody, to spend time with them? And so if you pretend like he's not even there, I think that might hurt. I don't know.
I agree.
So do I.
Yeah, let's cross that one out. then.
Yeah.
Most of us think we should cross that. What's the next one?
Stop teasing hand signal.
Oh, stop teasing hand signal. It's worth a try.
What do you think?
You like that one?
I think that's a good idea because it's not like, stop that. It's not like you're saying anything mean to them. And you're not even using your tongue. It's like this. And they'll stop.
Yeah.
You're not.
It's worth a
hurting
try.
them.
See how it works. Does everybody think we
It's
can
not
try
like
it?
hitting them.
Okay.
Right.
You have mystic signs written all over your hand.
But it's,
Especially effective,
Yeah.
right?
but it lets people know exactly where you stand.
But you
know
think you're being
exactly.
teased and you think it should stop.
Okay.
I
Okay,
have a
on to the
question too
next.
about the
Oh.
hand signal. Would you say it would be a hand signal but not looking at them? Because sometimes when you look at them, then it turns into an angry kind of looking. So you wouldn't look at their face, you turn your face the other way, you just put your hand out, sort of like that?
That's what I was thinking, I guess, when I heard him,
Yeah.
was to put my face
Because I was sort
away.
of thinking, sometimes when you look at somebody with a real angry look, then it looks like you're asking for a fight. Yeah.
Well, let's go on to the next one. It sounds like we're kind of going to keep that and try it.
Fight and hit.
Fight and hit.
Oh.
I don't like that one because that's what we
That's
don't
the
like
start of the
around
problem
here.
in the
That's what's
first place.
That's a real common one.
down with that. Okay, down. We cross that.
Although I don't disagree with it. It's
I do disagree.
still just not a good idea for the general population.
Disagree with it?
Well, but I can see what Eric's saying, that sometimes that's all you can get, that's the only way you can get a person to stop. Because everything else you feel frustrated hasn't worked. Yeah. But hopefully, maybe some of these other things will work.
All right.
Okay.
Ignore the teasing.
I think that's kind of like the one we said before, where it might just
Yeah,
make them
you
mad.
walk away. I don't think it's a good idea to ignore. You could say.
Actually, but ignoring, then if they're just doing it for fun, they'll after a while they'll think
It's boring.
it's no fun. I mean,
Sometimes they will, but
ignoring.
other times they'll just attack you, and that's not what we're looking for at all.
I suppose that we could keep it in there if anybody wanted to try it, they could. I mean, you don't
I-
have
Because you
to.
could always try ignoring it.
You don't
I just
have
think
to.
the problem is that
I'm
usually,
gonna do
usually you
checks
can't,
for ones which we.
usually you can't ignore
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna do checks for ones which
I don't
are
like
kind
it.
of like.
Okay, all right.
I don't know.
So that's
Yeah, I could also see saying, rather than saying ignore the teaser, just to say, I don't like teasing. So you acknowledge that you're saying something, that you know that they're teasing, you're just saying teasing makes me feel uncomfortable.
And I think
or
we,
teasing makes me grumpy.
I think somebody said that, I don't like it when you tease me, or didn't we write that?
I don't think we wrote that down, but I think maybe rather than ignoring it, rather than responding to the teasing by fighting back, but to say something about, you know, I don't like teasing, just to make that statement. And so that isn't like you're just ignoring them, like you're pretending they're invisible.
How does everybody feel about that? Would that be okay if someone wanted to try it?
Yeah.
Our meeting is lasting quite a long time, and
Oops.
so we came up with so many great ideas.
This is our problem with family.
Let's do this. There's a whole bunch of penalties now. There
Wait,
was
wait,
a
what
whole
about
bunch of
think
penalties.
better
Did we
of
miss
it?
one? Oh,
Think better of
say
it.
that one.
I think that that's just a good one, you know. I mean, does anybody
explain,
disagree?
well-
Explain to me again.
It's like
What do you mean?
where the teaser just
It's about to go.
is about to do something, but then he thinks that, hey, maybe that's not such a good idea. We'd get in a fight, and et cetera, et cetera.
So that kind of leaves it up to the teaser to remember all this.
Right.
Maybe when you put your hand up like
I was
that,
gonna
maybe
say,
you'll think
maybe
of
the
it.
stop teasing hand signal, the person could say, think twice, or,
Yeah, that would help them think
Yeah.
better.
Why don't you write that?
Twice.
Okay, why don't you write that down? Think twice with the hand. So you have just a calm couple of words. Think twice.
twice.
Okay.
What would you think if somebody did that?
All right. Think
And
better
then,
of
so
it.
that's pretty much the same as think better of it, so give it a start.
It would help remember.
Lord,
Lord,
All right.
you're getting tired. Okay, let's do the last
The
one,
penalties.
and then we'll think of what could go wrong with the ones we chose.
Okay, a penalty.
Penalty to teaser. 10-minute timeout. Spanking. No dessert. No movie. No movie. 20 minutes of being nice to them. Being nice to
The only
them.
one that I like is the 20 minutes of being nice. The other ones seem like it's only encouraging them to do it again.
They seem pretty tough
I
penalties.
think they'd make you mad.
No,
They'd make you
20
mad.
minutes to the thing.
No, I mean the spanking
All of those
and the-
beside
yeah,
the 20 minutes.
All right, so
And I don't like the idea of family date night turning into somebody being punished by not being able to have
No,
it.
I wouldn't like to do that. I wouldn't. But the 20 minutes
20 minutes.
of doing something, maybe even
service.
10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes too long, maybe
20
10
minutes
minutes.
more.
20 minutes, be okay?
An
Could try it.
hour.
Could try it.
20 minutes.
You see?
Okay, so Margot,
Thorin would like an hour.
why don't we go
All
down
right, wait,
the-
there's one more thing. Ignore teaser.
Oh, we already covered
We
that
crossed
one.
that one.
Okay, that was question.
The only zero
So
here.
now
Okay,
why don't we read down the list for the ones that we
Read down,
All right.
yeah, read down the ones.
All right,
Eric's
the ones which passed are
What could go wrong?
no for an answer. What could go wrong with that? The people get angry, they're like, I don't want to take no for an answer.
But it's worth a try. Everybody agree it's worth a try.
Keep your word. What could
Yeah, that'd be pretty
Okay,
good.
I think we need to be taking turns.
Yeah. Thorin, it's okay. Thorin, you're getting tired, aren't you? Because we've had a long family meeting. This turned out to be a long family meeting. We're almost done. Thank you for being such a participant, but we are almost done.
All right.
Okay, and keeping your word like Thorin wanted us to do, that would be tied in with the timer. So that could go wrong if we didn't have the timer, but the timer would help it to be right, I think.
Yeah,
It's
I
worth a
think that
try.
will work.
We can try it for a week and meet next week and see how it goes.
okay?
Anything else?
Yes. Stop teasing. Hand signal. Think twice.
And say, think twice.
I like
It's
that.
worth a try.
Yeah.
That'd be the second major thing we could do for, and then come back next week and see how it went.
All right. Ignore the teaser.
We crossed that one off.
I guess if anybody wanted to try it, they could.
I don't think that's a good idea.
They could be angry, but
Yeah.
still.
I'd cross it out.
Okay,
But if they were just saying stuff,
Hit them a lot.
sure, that's fine with me. Okay, what's the next one? Anything else?
think better of it.
Sounds good to
Is
me.
that kind of like the hand signal, think,
Yeah.
see, that kind of, we tied that in. So we still basically only have two things, that's good. What else?
Penalty to teaser, 20 minutes.
No.
I think that's the penalty. That would make sense as the penalty if you do the hand signal, but the person teases anyway.
Yeah. If
person,
So that kind
you
of
do the hand signal and they ignore it,
and
that
there's
goes
teasing
with the
anyway,
signal.
then,
but if you forget the
so,
hand
but
signal.
how do you do that
Who's
if you
gonna
don't tell the
enforce it?
parents?
There's
That's right. What could go wrong with this? I'm sitting here thinking, who's going to make the person spend 20 minutes with somebody who's been teasing him that he doesn't want to? I'm not sure that one would work.
The grown-up can.
But I don't want to be the judge, because then I have to be the person that tells everybody what to do. I'd rather not.
So you think they ought to work it out themselves? Would be best.
Yeah, don't you feel that way? Just because I'm a grown-up, I don't want to be always having to solve other people's problems. There are two very good things here already.
I have found that this one works pretty well, though, which basically we've used that for sort of,
But she's right, it requires intervention.
it requires intervention,
That
right?
they don't,
Usually when
they
the
don't
teasing
solve the
has gotten
problem
to the point
themselves. Yeah.
of where it's drawn our attention,
Yeah.
shall we say.
But we could try the other two, we could try it for a week and see how it goes, and then if the first two don't work, we could come back to it.
How
Be another
do you
possibility.
feel about that, Margot and Eric and Thorne?
I think that's a good idea. Try it for a
Okay.
That's a
week.
good idea.
So we've come up with two pretty good sounding things. They're well worth a try.
Keep your words, set the timer, stop teasing, hand signal, think better of it.
Okay.
Well, those
Now,
go together.
I put these two together. Keep your word and set the timer,
Mm-hmm.
right?
So that's one.
That's one.
Wait, but then take no for an answer.
They kind of all go together, don't they? Take no for an answer, keep your word and set the timer.
Well, I don't
Not
think
really?
that, I think that take no for the answer is a separate thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So we have
And
three.
so that's an
One, two,
option, if the teacher's not willing
Three,
to take no for
and
an
then
answer.
four. We have four.
Okay. All right.
And 4 ideas made it out of 10.
So, would you, when you get home, Margot, would you write these down again neatly so you can post them on the fridge and everybody could see them? And then everybody could agree, because everybody needs to agree that's really what we said, because we're getting tired now. And if you could write them down, those 4 neatly, and then everybody could say, Margot, I think it was this or that. And then we would all know when we looked at it, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Whoa, what a good family meeting we had. All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much for, so we'll get together next week. When shall we get together next week? Same,
Sunday?
No.
Usually Sunday
wait a
is
minute,
our
you're out of
family
town.
meeting day.
Sunday?
Saturday morning before you leave.
Right, absolutely, well, packing for,
Friday for the fiesta. Well, maybe what we'll do is we'll get together Sunday evening. It'll be fine.
Wednesday.
Sunday, why not Sunday evening as usual?
Why not
Okay.
Wednesday evening? That's tomorrow.
Oh, sounds like that's too soon.
Next week.
Next,
I think we'll do it next Sunday.
No, that's
Okay,
good.
let's try for Sunday. We'll try for Sunday. If it has to change, we can always change it. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming to the meeting.
Thank you very much for
Thank
coming.
you too.
Yeah, it was fun to be your grandma. Our next example of a family meeting is going to be done by an actual family, having an actual family meeting, which they held here in the studio. And I'd like you to watch once again for these 3 major elements of what goes on when people are trying to solve a problem. There's listening and accepting other people's point of view. And then those 3 very major elements. One is to state the problem and giving everyone a chance to state it. And the next is to brainstorm solutions, even if they sound kind of silly and you can't agree with them. And then the third one is to come in and try to find a solution. But remember, it's very important that you don't have to find a solution. The important thing for the family is that they sat down, attempted to find a solution, listened to one another, and respected one another. And usually as some kind of a solution does come up, as you noticed in the last one, we had a couple of really, pretty good ideas people were willing to try. But if we can't agree on one, that's okay too, because there's always next week, and we can think about it and come back and try again. So let's go to the Sarah and Dan Lauer's family.
We have a family meeting tonight, and before we talk about new agenda, I wanted to talk about how you were feeling about the decision we made at the last family meeting when we decided to change rooms. And Peter, you got the bigger room, and Sonia, you got the smaller room. And I just want to know how you were feeling about that.
Fine. We painted my room yellow. Or I like that. And I need to get a mirror, and I also need to get a lamp because it's kind of dark still.
Okay.
So you don't feel like your room's finished yet?
You wanna
No,
get a
not
few
really, but
more
it's kind of
things.
close.
Okay, so you want to get a mirror and a lamp to... Okay, how about you, Peter? How do you feel?
Fine.
Fine?
How do you like the room?
It's big.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so new agenda for tonight. Do you have any agenda, Peter?
Playing tennis.
Okay, playing tennis. Okay.
That was kind of like my agenda, Peter. I wanted to talk about setting time aside so that we can do something at least once a week as a family, like playing tennis or going for a bike ride or doing something.
Okay, so time aside for something fun at least one
Yep.
one time a week. Okay. Sonia, did you have any agenda?
No, not really.
Okay. And what I wanted to talk about had to do a little bit with the rooms. And that was I wanted to figure out some kind of a schedule for you to keep your rooms clean. Because it feels like I'm always saying, Peter, you need to pick up your clothes, or you need to hang up your wet towel from the shower, or Sonia, the same thing, basically. So I wanted to come up with a schedule, something you kids would agree with for cleaning up your room, or keeping it somewhat clean. So let's start with that agenda. Rooms cleaning schedule.
Okay.
Okay, any ideas?
Well, I don't want to make my bed in the morning because I have to already practice the piano 30 minutes, plus I have to eat breakfast, brush my teeth, get ready. It's kind of a lot.
So you don't want to make your bed in the morning?
No, but I'll agree to like pick up my room, in the evening time, because by that time, I've had the whole day, and then I have more time in the evenings anyways.
So what would you do? Would you make your bed in the evening? No.
No.
Okay. So you don't want to make your bed at all?
No.
Ever?
Well, yeah. Well, I
So,
will
like,
when
on
I
the
can't
weekends.
stand it anymore, or
Like
I
on
have to
the
change my
weekends.
sheets. Yeah, on the weekends too.
But one of the things is at night you've got homework and dinner, and then and if you have to do your room, then you won't have any free time. So
No, not exactly, because I'm so
So
much
they-
more busier in the mornings than I am at night.
but it seemed to me to make more sense to be able to do your rooms in the morning before you go to school. Then you wouldn't have to fiddle with it at night.
So you think that they should do it in the morning?
Uh huh.
I don't really care. Whatever.
You're either in the afternoon or in the morning. How do you feel about? Sonia says she doesn't want to make her bed at all.
I don't really want to either.
What do you guys think cleaning your room is, though?
Putting away the clothes, cleaning out their dressers,
Putting what?
putting away the clothes, our
Oh.
clothes,
Okay, so if they're
Stuff like
dirty,
that.
put them in the dirty clothes
No,
basket.
yeah.
If they're
clean, fold
If they're
them
clean, you still put them in the dirty clothes basket,
up.
right?
No.
Okay.
you fold them out and put them in your
Yeah.
drawers. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Uh-huh.
how does that sound to you, Sonia? What Peter said.
What?
Does that sound like what cleaning your room would be? The definition for you?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like hanging my clothes up because in my closet and stuff because I usually don't get around to it. Also like hanging up towels and stuff from like taking a shower or something like that.
Okay.
Well, that's a big part of it, I think, because the clothes always get left in the bathroom after
Nuh-uh.
showers. Well, a lot of
No,
times, not always.
I do my
agree.
job.
I agree.
Dad.
You, Dad.
Dad, it's you. It's you.
Well, I do too. That's
So,
true.
But you
That's
know
true.
what? Leaving the clothes in the bathroom, I think that's a different issue. We should probably talk about that another
Okay.
time. We should probably just stick with the rooms, keeping
Okay.
the rooms clean. So, it sounds like Sonia doesn't want to make her bed, and Peter doesn't want to make his bed, okay?
I'll make my bed, but I don't really have
But you
time.
are agreeing to pick up your clothes before you go to bed at night. Is that right? Is that what I,
Yeah.
did I understand that right? Pick up, and if they're dirty, you put them in the dirty clothes basket, and if they're clean, and you can still wear them, you'd fold them up or hang them up in your closet.
Yeah, and also just like stuff that's around, I don't know, like things.
Okay, things that would be on the floor, you'd be tripping over.
No, more like on my desk and stuff.
Yeah.
Where it gets like piled up.
Okay, well, and that doesn't seem to bother me so much because I figure what's on your desk is your stuff. I guess what bothers me is the clothes on the floor, and they just get piled higher and higher. And
Then
then
the clean clothes get
Well,
mixed
not
in with the
really.
dirty clothes, and
Yeah.
it's really hard to sort it out, at the end of the week.
Oh, we're not doing. No,
Okay.
actually, we're like better than some of my friends.
well,
So-
so you think you're better than a lot of your friends as far as keeping the rooms clean?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, do you think it'll really work in the evening?
Yes.
Okay.
Like before I go to bed.
Uh-huh.
Because I don't like getting my room that dirty because I just can't stand it. I'm not like a clean freak or anything, but
Okay.
Okay.
So.
But that means also, 'cause sometimes you want to do something right up to the last thing, but it means taking that 10 minutes at the end of the day
less
before,
than that. More like
before it's
five.
time to go to bed.
So that would mean getting ready for bed would mean not only getting on your pajamas and brushing your teeth, but also picking up your
Your
clothes.
Okay.
Mom, after one day, there's gonna probably be like not that many clothes.
Okay, so it
Okay.
wouldn't take that long, is what you're saying? You don't think it would take that long?
No. It'd just be like when I'm getting dressed, like every night, if like when I'm getting into my pajamas, I just put my clothes in the dirty clothes.
Do you think if you did that at night, do you think you'd have enough time to just make your beds in the morning?
Maybe.
No.
No.
You don't think so?
Well, I don't have a lot of time
You don't-
in the morning.
You don't want to.
I've been rushing. I always rush in the morning.
Hmm.
But I mean, I just mean like I could throw the covers like on top, like just like remember, but I couldn't like fold them like nurses do or whatever.
Oh, make hospital corners?
Yeah.
Well, I
I
don't
don't
think
know
you have
how to do that.
I don't do that either.
I guess my feeling is that we just made your room really nice and Detta made that nice comforter for you and it doesn't take that, I mean, my opinion is it doesn't take that much effort to,
We have an
Throw the-
easy bake in the middle of the room.
yeah, it is
That's true.
easier because you can get around it, but it is a little bit bigger. So, well, anyway, we have decided that, right, Peter? We have decided that you'll pick up your clothes before you take care of that, and wet towels on the floor?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really don't.
And what about, well, now it's springtime, and so you're not wearing as many jackets and stuff, but that's another thing that
Yeah.
just gets thrown onto your
I know.
bedroom floor.
I just like.
Okay, and that would be part of some of the things you pick up before you go to bed?
That's clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you do that, and we don't worry about the beds maybe until we see how that goes, or go ahead and try to do beds in the morning.
I think for like next week's family meeting, see what
Okay.
happens.
Well, would that be okay with you, Dan?
That's
If we
okay.
just wait and
Yeah.
just
that's
leave
okay.
the beds for now
Yeah.
and worry about the clothes and
Okay.
see how it goes?
I can pick up my clothes really whenever.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do it whenever, but you will do it before you go to bed, is what we're
Yeah.
saying. Does that sound all right to you?
Yeah, but what if we pick them up like before that?
Oh, that's fine.
Well, then you're not gonna have any clothes.
But
to pick
before you
up.
go to bed, they have to be off the floor and
Yeah.
put away.
Okay.
That's the agreement.
Okay. Well, that sounds fine to me. I can live with that. So should we go on to the next agenda, which is, Peter, you said playing tennis?
I just want to play tennis sometime.
Okay, and you wanted, who did you want to play with?
Everybody.
All of us go play
Yeah.
tennis? So the weather's getting really nice. So that sounds like it'd be lots of fun.
But it could be like part of Dad's thing. Like,
Figuring out
Dad's
what to-
agenda?
what-
yeah.
Oh, okay.
'Cause-
Could be something that we could set a time for?
So
Yeah.
how do we set time aside
I
to do
like-
things as a family?
Yeah.
Okay, during the week, at least once.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we skip on to yours, Dan, and then we could put playing tennis maybe as the first thing we do.
Okay.
Weather permitting.
Okay. I mean, my The concern I have is that, we seem to go, we're all so busy right now, but, the weather's really nice, and we're not taking time out for just doing something once a week. Seems like, I end up trying to, doing the yard work, so then I don't have time, and then, I know it'd be fun to go do some of those things that you guys wanted to do. So I'm wondering how we could sit down and figure out a time that we can all commit, to having a couple hours, at least once a week.
It could be like every Tuesday or something, every Tuesday night or
An
evening.
idea.
Well, when do you have
It's a good
soccer,
idea.
Peter?
Well, we don't
Yeah,
have
we'll
that
have to
scheduled.
like,
That's one problem.
Find out.
Is we don't know when soccer practices yet.
Right.
yeah.
We should find out this week.
Yeah. We know Sonia's doing open gym basketball on Friday nights. So.
Right.
So, yeah.
Another time is, well, I guess our weekends aren't always free, but sometimes Sunday afternoon or evening. That might work.
Yeah, I want to play tennis a lot because I like tennis and,
And it's so close.
Yeah.
it's so cool.
And I want to, ride bikes too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. Well, that might be kind of hard to schedule this week since we don't know Peter's soccer
Right,
schedule.
right.
But we could set a tentative date to play tennis. And then after we get Peter's soccer schedule, we could maybe make it at our Tuesday nights are free, and so the
Right.
kids could try to get their homework done early on Tuesday so we could do something.
Yeah.
But maybe
I
we
try
should-
not to schedule meetings and things.
Oh,
we
right.
should.
Right.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just so hard with the.
Yeah, I thought Sunday was a good
With the
idea
trip.
because Sunday you can't like have a school meeting. 'Cause-
Right,
Right.
Weekend.
It's Sunday.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you have, you have church after.
Yeah, I have
church
that
or
till
Sunday-
like 2:30.
Cairo after.
But like if the weather stays nice, we can do it like after dinner because they have lights on the tennis courts.
Yeah.
Sunday evenings? That'd be
Yeah.
fine.
Well, let's do that for now, because Peter
So
won't
I
have
don't
soccer
have
practice
Right.
in the evening.
And
We
I'm going to
have
have
games.
lots, I've got a lot of weekday meetings between now and the end of the school year with this class trip. You have
So-
meetings too.
Oh.
So,
Oh, yay.
well, why don't we schedule it for this Sunday evening? We'll play tennis, okay?
'Kay.
I'm just gonna write it on the calendar right now. That would be the 9th. Or you know what, we have a play, we're going to play.
We're going to that.
That's not gonna
The
work.
first
How about Sunday
Sat-
afternoon?
Sunday afternoon,
Yeah, like when Sonia gets home back from
Right,
Cairo, like
right.
3 o'clock?
3 o'clock.
Okay, 3 o'clock tennis.
So that doesn't mean we always have to play tennis at 3 o'clock on Sunday.
No. but
No,
we-
that's
but
just
we'll-
for this week.
But we'll schedule our time, try to schedule our time on Sundays at this point.
Yeah. And,
See how it works.
and then the last thing we need to do is schedule our next family meeting.
Okay.
Well, we usually do it Sunday evening, but now we have tennis.
Well, we could do it when we got
Yeah.
back from playing tennis.
Yeah.
No.
Because we'll be all tired and be taking showers.
I just after tennis,
Okay.
I just kind of want to,
Rest.
Rest?
yeah,
Okay, so when would
I
be a
don't
good
feel
time?
like being in a meeting.
When would be a good time for you to do it?
Well, after, I don't know.
Maybe like Sunday morning before we go to church.
Oh, that's a good idea. We could do that.
Okay, that would work.
Well, we're eating breakfast.
Yeah, but we can have breakfast and then do that before we go to church.
Yeah.
That's actually a good time.
Is that okay with you, Sonia?
Yeah.
So we'll do it Sunday morning at 9 o'clock? 9:30?
9:30.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wait.
Well, do we go to early or late?
We usually go to second service at church.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I'll be
Okay.
teaching
Sunday school.
Sunday school, so I'll have to leave early that day. That won't work.
Oh. But then we could have them when you're not teaching Sunday school.
Every other week?
Every other week.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Well, that's a good idea.
So it'd be on the
So we can do the
16th.
16th family meeting at 9:30. Okay.
We could have just family meetings every other Sunday instead of
That's what.
Instead of every week?
Yeah.
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 That's true. We could. We'll just see how that goes for a little bit.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds good.
Well, thanks everybody.
Okay.
Hello, we're here with Dan and Sarah Lauer, and it was their family we just watched on the tape a little while ago. It was an actual family meeting, and Sarah and Dan have been doing these family meetings with their family for 6 years?
Yes, about 6 years.
Could you each maybe just take turns commenting on the family meeting and how you use it in the family and why you keep using it? It must be successful for you.
Yes, well, for one thing, it's very helpful for solving problems. It takes the burden off of us as parents sometimes because the kids often come up with really great ideas. And it's also just a wonderful way to practice using the inner reality in the book and describing language and be able to build this trust with the kids. So when we do sit down and have a family meeting, they trust the process and they don't come defensive.
You can see that. You can see that when I watched the tape. I could see that because sometimes children think, I'm not coming to that family meeting. They're going to all sit and lecture me about what I'm supposed to do. And obviously your children know that's not what a family meeting is about.
Well, we have those moments too. I think for me, we probably don't do family meetings nearly enough. But they've been very successful over the years. And, I think the tape that we did, that was a fairly normal family meeting, but we've had family meetings where issues have been very difficult for everybody.
It was interesting that Sarah told me that the cameraman, after the taping was over of your family meeting, said, I don't think my children would have been that agreeable. But I didn't think your daughter stuck to her guns, and she didn't agree to do everything you wanted her to do. She was just very kind about it and respectful, but she still said, no, I don't think that's a good idea to make my bed if I'm just going to go back and get it all messed up again.
Right.
And I think that illustrates what you said. Your children trust the process, and they're not defensive, but they still stick up for what they think is.
And I think we've had to learn to trust the process too, where I think when we first started family meetings, I think maybe I had more expectations about they might help me get the solution I want or something I really want. So I've had to really learn to trust the process and let the kids, really be a part of the decision-making process for us.
That was the big learning experience for me when I learned that I, as the adult, don't have to come up with a solution and don't have to try to manipulate people to like it. But what a relief it is to run a family meeting when I'm not responsible for coming up with a solution. It's a shared effort. And I think parents and teachers, it is a great relief to give it over to the group.
And going into the meeting knowing that you don't have to come up with a solution is also makes it so much easier to go into the process that way.
And sometimes it's next week, and sometimes it's the next week.
Right.
And sometimes things just have a way of just solving themselves.
Right.
Have you ever experienced that? After you talk about it, it just sort of evaporates next week, and it's not an issue.
Kind of really diffuses.
It diffuses
tension too,
the tension.
I think that's why I feel like it's important to do it more regularly, because you kind of learn skills in it. I mean, as a family, and if you let those go for a while, it takes a few meetings to get back to where everybody's really comfortable and used to it. So.
And when you wait until there's a crisis, then
everybody's out of practice.
Right, and some people are defensive.
Right.
When you wait until the crisis comes along.
Right.
Well, I certainly appreciate you doing this and seeing your lovely family, and thank you so much for all your help in putting this tape together.
It's always a pleasure to work with you.
So thank you so much. We're done.
Yesterday, a child came out to one